If you are struggling with delivering your online freelancing project, then this video is for you. After watching this video, you will be able to deliver highly successful projects, and chances of winning more projects from the same client will increase definitely. Hi guys, this is Awais, and in this video, I'm gonna share some really effective tips on how to prevent your online freelancing project from failing and how to deliver highly successful projects. Practically speaking, I have worked with many clients from all around the world, and the dynamics of delivering a successful project is almost the same for all kinds of projects. I have compiled 7 result-oriented tips with examples that I would like to share with you guys. If you follow these tips, you will be able to deliver your online freelancing projects without any difficulty, and your client will definitely accept your project in the first shot. Let's move on. Tip number 1. Always log the scope of work before starting the project. Now, what is scope of work? Scope of work can be defined as what needs to be done and what will not be done. In simple terms, what work is included in the project and what work will not be done in the project. For example, if you're working on a content writing project, you clearly need to discuss with your client that whether it will include SEO keyword research or not. Many clients these days assume that you will do the keyword research and you will incorporate those keywords in the content. SEO keyword research is definitely very time consuming. So you need to make sure what is included in the project and what is not included in the project. Tip number 2, plan, plan, plan. Now, it goes without saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. After winning a project, you have to start planning your project very carefully. The more you plan, the closer you will get to making your project successful. Now, how do you plan your project? You can apply the fundamentals of project management here. Now, without making it sound super complicated, I will explain it to you in simple terms. Create a master plan that includes 3 main parts: scope, schedule, and budget. Scope of work can be defined as what work needs to be done and what work will not be done. Schedule implies to the timelines, deadlines, milestones of your project, and budget is the cost management of your project. Besides these 3 important things, you also have to focus on effective and spontaneous communication, which is very important for any project. For example, if you're working on a video editing project, you have to make sure to implement the complete scope of work. You also have to make a schedule of activities, deadlines, milestones of your project, and you also have to manage the cost, maybe in terms of hiring video editors or content creators, or maybe even purchasing a video editing software tool. Tip number 3. Always maintain spontaneous communication with your client. Now, most of the freelancers make this mistake that after winning a project, they don't communicate with the client. They vanish. You always have to be in touch with your client regarding the project updates, if you have any doubts, or if there are any changes within the scope of work. Whatever the case is, you always have to keep your client well informed about the project deliverables. For example, if you're working on a website design project, always give regular updates to your client in terms of maybe how many pages you have worked on, in terms of technical SEO that you're doing. Always keep your client in the loop of communication. This will not only enable you to deliver highly successful project, but it will also increase the trust between you and your client. If you think this video is helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tip number 4. Always give your client something extra. Now, this falls under the domain of maintaining quality. What is quality? Quality can be defined as meeting clients' requirements and expectations. So you have to make sure that your focus is on both the things, meeting clients' requirements and expectations. For example, if you're working on a graphics design project like logo designing for your client, so instead of just delivering a logo for his website, you can also resize the logo and deliver it to him for his social media. Tip number 5. Never overcommit. Now, you must be thinking overcommitting is part of meeting clients' expectations. Trust me, it's not. If you overcommit beyond the scope of work, you might end up delivering incomplete project, and in some cases you might not be able to deliver the project at all due to lack of understanding between you and the client. Secondly, if you overcommit beyond the scope of work by agreeing to everything your client says, it will mean that you cannot say no, and this will give a very negative impression to your client, and your client might think that you are not a good negotiator, and this might destroy the trust between you and your client. For example, if you're working on an online lead generation project for a real estate client and the client wants to generate 100 leads per week, and just to win the project you committed that you can generate 500 leads per week. That's insane. Like, maybe you don't have the resources to do that. Even if you work day and night, the project becomes a nightmare, and just due to the fact that you overcommitted, now you are heading towards under-deliverance. So never overcommit. Tip number 6. Never hesitate to outsource your project. Now, why do you want to outsource your project? There could be 3 main reasons. Number 1, you don't have the skills. Number 2, you don't have the human resources or the manpower. Number 3, you don't have enough time to complete the project. So, in this scenario, it is always recommended to outsource the project, but make sure to check the quality of work before delivering the final work to your client. For example, if you're working on a digital marketing project, but you don't have enough resources to complete the project, you don't have human resources or technical resources like social media marketing experts or SEO professionals or even social media marketing tools. So in this case, it is always recommended to outsource your project. Tip number 7, always deliver your project on time. Time is very important for any project. In fact, time is money. Always have a little time buffer before the project deadline for any changes or client's feedback. Your client might have accepted the project but wants some last minute changes. So make sure you have enough time on your hand to incorporate these changes. For example, if you're working on an ebook creation project and your client is on a very strict deadline, your client wants to make some last minute changes, like he wants you to change the ebook cover in terms of some design level changes. So you should have enough time to incorporate these changes. I have a bonus tip for you. Always check your work at least 3 times before delivering it to your client. Now, here I would like to discuss the concept of iron triangle. Iron triangle refers to 3 main elements: scope, schedule, and budget. And in the heart of iron triangle is the quality, which means if you compromise any of these elements, the quality of work will be compromised directly. So you always have to make sure that the scope of work is completed, you have delivered the project on time, and the project falls under the set budget. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and check out my next video. I'll see you guys in the next video.